My father died when I was 11. I studied in school and in Pilani on scholarships. When I finished engineering, I said I'm not going to work for the government, I'll do business. Those days it was very difficult to get a machine. So after some time I said, we should make our own machines. So I started making machines. Then we spoke to a number of companies in hydraulics all over the world. We tied up with Yuken and we started exactly 50 years ago. The factory was started originally in Whitefield. The government didn't supply transport, water, nothing, not even a road. The only thing the government gave us was air. In IMTMA, we set up a school so that graduate engineers who come out of university are trained so that they become suitable to work in industry. Right. Now that speaks volumes of the quality of education. The people who come out even from IITs are very, very poor. Well, I think building team starts with empathy. People do not know hydraulics.
What are the challenges that you face?
There are companies in China who make look-alike products and put Yuken label and sell it in the Indian market.
How do you look at the importance of growth in a business?
Well, I think if you don't grow, you should die.
We are honored to have with us today a true pioneer in the Indian industrial hydraulics, someone I have always looked up to, someone I have followed with great passion. I have looked and seen where he's going and what he's doing, not just because we both studied at Pilani, also because I know him as a great leader. He is the founder of Yuken India Limited, a promoter chairman of Sai India Limited, served important positions in IDBI advisory committee. He's been a member, chairman CII of different positions in CII. President of the Indian Machine Tool Manufacturers Association. Please welcome Mr. P Rangachar. It's truly an honor to have you, sir.
Thank you, sir. You spoke too much.
I've been wanting to do this and I started sometime last year.
Okay.
And because I feel that there are a lot of people like you. I remember when I started hydraulics, we had to wait for months for a pump. If you order Eaton, that was Vickers at that point of time.
That's right.
PB15 delivery would be 4 months, 6 months. You order and keep waiting. And then the Yuken office opened in Delhi.
Oh, you remember that?
I remember that. Mayapuri.
Yes.
Kamal Madam. And
Kamal Madam, yes.
Swaminathan.
Yes, Swaminathan was there.
So I remember that office very well, and so it was a game changer for us. So I've been keeping a track since then. I would normally like to start right at the beginning. So where were you born, sir?
I was born in Bikaner, Rajasthan.
Bikaner, Rajasthan. All right. Okay. How is it there? I mean, your family was
no,
there?
Actually, my father and mother both are from old Mysore state.
Okay.
My mother was born and brought up in Mysore. My father was born and brought up in Bangalore. He's from the first batch of the Government Engineering College in Bangalore.
All right.
But after some jobs here, he got a job in Jaipur.
Right.
So in 1924, he went to Jaipur and he was working there in the powerhouse.
All right.
Then after a few years of work, Maharaja Ganga Singh Ji of Bikaner came to Jaipur and he saw the work done by my father. So he asked the Maharaja of Jaipur, please ask him to come to Bikaner for 6 months.
Okay.
So Maharaja couldn't say no, so my father went to Bikaner.
All right.
And then he never came back. Okay. So we were in Bikaner for about 9 years.
Okay.
Then all these princely states were merged and it became Rajputana.
Okay.
And my father was invited to be the chief engineer for the whole of Rajputana.
Okay.
And for that, he had to shift back to Jaipur.
All right.
So we shifted back to Jaipur. So I did my schooling in Jaipur. And then, of course, my engineering from Pilani.
So how did Pilani happen for you?
No, because I was in Jaipur. So Pilani was natural. Yes, because of course everybody used to speak about IIT and Roorkee and all this, but We said, well, why not Pilani? And well, I think that is the best decision I made in my life.
So tell me some memorable experience at Pilani.
At Pilani, well, we were a very mischievous lot, and always, first of all, not studying, second, bunking classes. We made an art of proxy. So one person would give attendance for 5 or 6 people, and then we invented what is called topoing. Topoing was, you wouldn't do the laboratory work or the homework, and then we would take a glass piece of about this size. That also we would steal from the buildings under construction, put a light under that, then take work which has been done, either the earlier years work, laboratory work, or some good students in the batch who are studious and do the work, just take that and then copy it. So that was called topoing. And we did that throughout our career. But somehow, one good thing in Rajasthan University those days was that we had plenty of study leave.
Okay.
So during the study leave, we used to study sincerely. And if the teacher was good, we would pay attention in class. But if the teacher was not good, either we would bunk and go to the canteen, or at least I used to read one novel a day when I was in Pilani. Because if the teacher was not good, you just put it there and then you keep reading a novel. But some teachers were exceptional. Even now, for example, I remember my electrical engineering because the teacher was so great. And I remember my hydraulics, of course, that was water hydraulics. So some of the teachers were so good that it became a pleasure to study. It was not something you do to pass the exam.
Right.
It was because they made you love the subject. That was the beauty of Pilani.
Post Pilani, what was your professional experience like?
It's very funny. See, my father died when I was 11.
All right, okay.
So I studied in school and in Pilani on scholarships.
Awesome.
So when I finished engineering, my mother had incurred a huge debt. But you will not believe this. The grocers in Jaipur, they extended infinite credit to my mother. They said, "Ma'am साहब, आपको जितना चाहिए ले जाओ, पैसे आते रहेंगे."
Right.
So when I finished engineering, you see, Pilani, most of the people were from Marwadi families who were all from business families. And I had seen that my father, being a government servant, we got a raw deal after he died. So I said, I'm not going to work for the government, I'll do business. Now, it was a crazy idea because I had no money at all, no experience, nothing. Luckily for me, my cousins had started a factory in Madras in plastics. Well, that incidentally happened because my cousin's father failed in BSc 3-4 times. So
what year is this we're talking about?
This was in 1960.
So plastics as an injection molding?
This was blow molding.
Blow molding, but even then,
yes, we were
forward, I would say.
We were the first company, apart from JAL Engineer. 2 companies started blow molding in India at the same time.
All right.
Well, so our family, as for our community, the greatest thing is a government job. Next thing is to be a lawyer or a doctor or a professional.
Right.
But to do business was a complete anathema. But my uncle went into it because he failed in BSc. He had no choice, so he went into business. And that's how they started this factory, and I joined there as a partner.
All right.
And as you mentioned, see, those days it was very difficult to get a machine. You had to go through NSIC and then lot of procedures, very difficult because all the machines were imported. So after some time I said, well, to expand, we should make our own machines. So I started making machines. And that's where I was a customer of Vickers. In fact, I was one of their very good customers. I learned hydraulics from Vickers.
Right.
The Vickers Hydraulics Manual was one of the best books ever written. And
I have a copy.
You have a copy?
I have a copy with the color very beautifully
done. Right. And so I liked the subject very much. But as you mentioned, my machine was ready, and because offered me 1 year delivery for a solenoid valve.
Right.
I was very young. I was only 28, and I said, "This is not on. I'm going to make hydraulics." So I applied to the government. Those days, the government procedures were terrible. Amount of procedures you have to go through to set up an industry
Right.
was amazing. I can tell you each and every one of them. But anyway, I applied for a letter of intent. I got a letter of intent. Then we spoke to a number of companies in hydraulics all over the world, saying that we have got a letter of intent. We want to set up a factory to do this, and would you like to collaborate with us?
Right.
So to cut a long story short, finally we tied up with Yuken, and we started exactly 50 years ago.
50 years ago.
Well, the company was registered 50 years ago. Production started 2 years later, because between the time you register the company and you get a phased manufacturing program cleared, you get your capital goods import, you get your foreign investment, all these permissions, each one of them took their own time. I wore out about 4 or 5 pair of shoes. Walking in Udyog Bhavan. I knew every chaprasi, every tea stall, everybody in Udyog Bhavan, because I used to spend half my time in Delhi only to get
Push the
these
paper.
clearances. In spite of being a first generation technocrat with all the goodwill of the government, the red tape was so bad.
So did you start importing initially and then move on to manufacturing, or just kind of started?
No, according to the phased manufacturing program, you were allowed to import certain quantities of parts every year.
Okay.
And that had to reduce year after year, which was sensible. And what you produce also had to be defined.
Right.
And in fact, I don't blame at all, because the government controlled what they could produce. So they couldn't produce more even if they wanted to.
All right.
So based on that, we made our sales plan. Then based on the sales plan, we made our manufacturing plan. Based on the manufacturing plan, we decided what we will import, what we will buy out, what we will make in-house.
Right.
And the imports were planned accordingly.
Like all Japanese companies, I would expect Yuken to have a deep engineering philosophy.
Well, it happened for 2 reasons. One is, of course, that we loved the subject, and it was something very interesting. We enjoyed doing it. But more important was that when I signed the agreement, which was on 15th of October, 1974, the yen was 360 to the dollar.
All right.
When we made the import in 1977, it was 180 to the dollar.
Okay.
And at that time, minimum customs duty was 40%, and it went up to, for O-ring rubber parts, it was 120%.
Okay.
Custom duty. So before starting production, I knew we would go bankrupt, because the cost of imports had just shot up.
Right.
So we put up some more money, the collaborators put up some more money, and they sent a lot of their used machines to us, so that we could make the components in India and bring down the manufacturing cost.
Oh, awesome.
So that's how our indigenization took place very fast, and we absorbed the technology.
Right.
And then we set up our own engineering department, our own R&D, which has been very strong right through.
So this was what location was this started?
The factory was started originally in Whitefield.
In Whitefield.
In Whitefield. In fact, if you look at the IT park, the first plan, it says Yuken India, because we were there before them.
Okay.
So we have a common boundary.
So I've been to many times, been to one Whitefield plant.
That's the only one. That was the main plant.
Right.
So we started the operations there in 1977.
Right.
And continued there till 2014. But the entire Whitefield became an IT and a residential complex. So we saw the writing on the wall and said it's time for us to move out. And then we found another piece of land, another 22 kilometers away, and we shifted by 2015 we had shifted to the new facility.
The
Malur, the one in
facility.
Malur, yes.
One thing that I notice very clearly at Whitefield and Malur, in your plants, there are a lot of plants.
Well, one thing is, Coming from Rajasthan, I know the value of water.
Right.
And when we came to Whitefield, also there was no water.
Okay.
One of our Japanese uh, uh, people from Yuken, Japan, he donated money so that we could put a bore well and get water to drink. Because when we went there, the government didn't supply transport or water, and nothing, not even a road. It was a metal road, not
Okay.
even a tarred road.
Right.
I said that the only thing the government gave us was air. So everything we had to do ourselves. So then we did a lot of planting. So after the planting, the water table came up and we had no shortage of water. Even in our Malur plant, there were 5 bore wells. When we went there, all were dry.
Okay.
And we used to spend a couple of lakhs of rupees a month on tankers to buy water.
Oh.
But before we even bought the land, we took permission of the owner. As soon as we had an understanding, we started planting there. And from the second year, the water table came up.
All right.
And now for the last, more than 10 years now, we have not bought a single tanker of water. We got plenty, as much water as we want. Only because of planting.
It does not give me any impression of it ever having been arid land. There are ducks there.
Yeah, it was absolutely arid. There's not a single blade of grass growing there. It was completely barren when we,
Awesome. Okay.
we bought it. But
So in between, Pina happened. The Pina plant.
a Pina plant happened a little indirectly. The owner of that building was a friend of mine, and he wanted to sell that. And one of my friends said, "Well, why don't you look at that building?" I said, "Fine," and that's how we bought that building. One advantage in Pina was all our vendors were based there. Okay. So having a factory there, it was very convenient. So we could run a milk route using Pina as our base.
Hydraulics, as we know it, way back in say 1970s to now, it has evolved in many ways. Especially not just manufacturing, a lot of products have come in. What are the challenges that you faced in bringing them up? And I'm sure there would have been many, but things that come to your mind?
Challenges in what?
In introducing those products into the market?
Well, first challenge which we faced right when we started, and we face even today, is that people do not know hydraulics. And which is why more than 30 years ago, we started a hydraulic school.
Right.
So that people were afraid. They don't mind using an electric motor and a gearbox and a cam and all that because they can see it move. But they were afraid of hydraulics because they didn't know how it works. So we thought the best way of creating a market is to educate the people.
Right.
And that school has been a very good movement by us. Till now, we have trained more than 18,000 people. It starts with the basic hydraulics and then goes to circuits and proportional valves, servo valves. Plus, we have dedicated programs for, say, hydraulics in the construction machinery, hydraulics for machine tools, hydraulics for presses, hydraulics for steel plants. So, these are, of course, courses for people who already know something. It's an advanced course. So that whatever knowledge we have, we are able to share with people from industry. Then they are much more willing to consider the use of hydraulics.
And now there is a FPSI co-branded,
yes, co-branded program so that it can spread wider.
In fact, in your Delhi office, there used to be a program.
Yes.
People would come and...
Yes, we still have it.
You
Very
still
much so.
have it?
Oh, yes. Not only that, now we're going to open one in Bombay.
Okay.
Same thing. Whatever we have in Delhi,
Right.
we will have a similar facility in our Bombay office. Because
Bombay.
Luckily, the gala on top of us fell vacant and the owner knew us. So he said, I would like to give you the first choice to buy it. And so we bought it, and now
a school is going to come up?
Yeah, school will come up there, I think, by June or July. Courses will start there.
Fantastic. As you said, that there is very little awareness, at least definitely at the customer end, the user end.
Yes.
And hydraulics has many pluses, like the power is to weight ratio, for example. Efficiency isn't one of them, right? So we talk about efficiency, and as a oil cooling guy, industrial hydraulics guy, and an oil cooling guy, I also understand that what is all the inefficiencies are coming out as heat.
Heat, of course.
So what is it that can, in your opinion, can make people move from and you know, let's admit it that the hydraulics that we see today is still very inefficient. What is being used in India? So what, in your opinion, are things that we can do to have more efficient hydraulics in this country?
Okay. Piston pumps have efficiencies above 95-96%. We make piston pumps.
Right.
But we also make vane pumps which have equal efficiency
As piston pumps?
as piston pumps and a fraction of the cost.
Okay.
And these are what are being used in machine tools today.
The variable displacement pumps?
Variable volume vane pumps. If you look at the pressure versus flow curve,
Right.
the vane pump is better than the piston pump.
All right.
Plus, it has an advantage of being more compact, was much cheaper, and lower noise level.
Right, but probably has limitations in maximum pressure.
Yeah, but for actually, variable volume vane pumps are made up to 250 bar.
Right.
They are made and they are sold. Now, for this application, you don't need that.
Right.
But if required,
can be
they are
filled up.
available. They are commercially made products.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely. If we can move on to these pumps, then power consumptions are going to come down, and so is the heat production.
Also, if you look at the motor side, IE3, IE4, and then you have to go to IPM ultimately.
You also set up a motor manufacturing facility.
We did, and then we found that it was not a wise thing to do, and we shut it down.
Oh, really? I didn't know this.
Yeah, we did shut it down, but we still make the motors for our compact power packs because they are oil submerged and they are special construction. But the other motors, originally I started motor production because I used to have problems of quality of motors. It was not that I wanted to make money on motors. It was only because, see, if a power pack gives a problem, people are not going to say that this motor is defective. They will say your power pack is defective.
Of course,
so
everything in it
is
from
our
level
responsibility.
gauge upwards.
Yes, is our responsibility.
Right.
So we started making motors ourselves to improve the quality. But after dialogue with existing motor manufacturers and visiting their facilities and giving them a lot of push, they agreed to improve their quality. And so we said there's no need for us to produce those anymore.
Okay.
See, we don't want to produce something just for the sake of producing it. If there's some good supplier who's got good quality and reasonable price, would much rather buy it than make it ourselves, because it's not our field. Our field is hydraulics.
Absolutely, agreed. I didn't know that you'd stopped making it.
Recently.
We also make hydraulic systems, right? So at my company, Coolace, somehow the accent has always been in terms of trying to make a perfect system, an efficient system, a good system. But I find that from the economics point of view, we sometimes cross the customer expectations. We're not able to produce it at the price that the customer would want. What is your guidelines to your design people? Would you rather go in for a better system or a cheaper system?
I can answer that very simply. On almost all the power packs that are supplied to the machine tool industry, I lose money.
Okay.
Because they don't compromise quality.
So why would you I'm part of that ecosystem. Right? I'm saying why are we continuing to do this? I'm part of the culprit.
Okay, because we have made better designs which have good or better performance and lower cost.
Right.
So we are hoping to be able to change those. For example, now we use aluminum tanks, which are imported from China, which are very expensive also. So they can be replaced by steel tanks. Majority of power packs that we make are from steel tanks.
Right.
So if the customer agrees for steel tanks, it's a significant reduction in manufacturing cost for me, and performance will be as good.
Absolutely.
So those are the ways in which we hope to be able to make at least some margin or at least stop bleeding. But we have 80-90% of the market, so I can't let down my customers. So,
But you're in an important position to guide them.
yes, but see, machine tool people are capital equipment manufacturers
Absolutely.
who,
Yes.
by nature, have to be very conservative, because something which is very small can affect the performance of the capital equipment. So they take their own time, and I understand because I've been working with them, I've been a part of them. I understand their mindset. But over a period of time, definitely, I'm sure they will agree
I mean,
to
sometimes
change.
I wonder how you're able to produce it at that price.
No, no. I told you very honestly, I lose money, and every board meeting I get a bashing from our board of directors.
Okay. So, okay, so this is a different one on a different plane. With the way electromechanical actuators are coming in, right, I read an article which said death of hydraulics with these coming in. What is your take on this?
Well, I heard death of hydraulics 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So I don't think there's any absolute truth in it. But one thing is true: if you sit on your backside, you will die. So you have to keep evolving and improving, and meeting not the customer's requirement today, but what he's going to need 5 years from now and 10 years from now. You must anticipate what he needs and be able to meet that. And you have to have significant advantages over other technologies or other solutions which are available.
Right. Taking a cue from your answer, what, in your opinion, is the future of hydraulics in India?
See, for example, construction machinery. As you mentioned, the power density required there is very, very high.
Right.
So I see a very good market there for a long time to come.
Right.
But where you have, for example, machine tools. Now, originally, if you look at all the SPMs, all the movements were with hydraulic cylinders. Now, they've been replaced by ball screws and servo motors. Now, that's all right wherever you don't require much power. Where you require speed and accuracy of positioning, that's a better solution. We accept it, and that's how the industry is growing. But now there are all electric injection molding machines.
Right.
They have not been a success for many reasons. Because one is, for each axis you need a motor. So the total connected load becomes huge.
Right.
Plus now rare earths are a very difficult commodity, and that's what is required in servo motors.
Servo motors.
In addition to that very funny problem, which I never guessed, when the ball screw is rotating, the grease or the oil mist goes into the atmosphere, creating a pollution problem.
Oh, really? I didn't know this.
Yes. That has been another setback for.
Okay, now that you mention it, there is a company, or a couple of companies I came across which make these oil mist extractors.
Yes.
Right.
But then you can't extract 100% from a shaft which is so long and running so fast.
So another thing that bothers me is that the cheap part disaster. I call it the cheap part disaster. Cheap part disaster. So, as a country, I find that we are so obsessed with price. CNC we already talked about, but a lot of other places, the person taking a decision isn't aware, but he's always pushing L1. So can you give me, in your long career, examples of somebody or a customer who compromised on price and had to pay a much more larger price?
Not only in the past, it is happening today. There are companies in China who make look-alike products and put Yuken label and sell it in the Indian market.
That's in fact my next question.
Okay. So they sell it in the Indian market.
Right.
Now, when this happened, initially we lost a lot of business. But we told all our customers and all our distributors that that is not a genuine product, and please be careful. We would not recommend you are buying those just because of price. Some of them did, and they suffered, and they came back to us.
Right.
You have to be patient. You have to take the hit initially, but ultimately, customers recognize quality and come back to you.
I mean, this counterfeit product part is it's really it's contagious, and it has been growing. And I know people who would import parts from China and just their manufacturing process is nameplates. They make nameplates and
put whichever brand you want, they'll make and give you.
And
But you look at a parallel. The auto part industry is a similar problem of spurious parts. So it is there in every industry, and we've got to tackle it the best we can.
But I have a customer who's also a friend, and we've been working together for a long time. I primarily use Yuken parts in the power packs that we build for them. And then it came a point where their purchase manager would tell me that I'm getting at half the price.
Yeah.
And I had to raise my hand. I said, look, I mean, we are friends, but I really can't do it. And then the owner of the company, the managing director, one day called me that, Vineet, why don't you come over? We have a serious problem. So that was the problem.
Understand.
It was not our power pack, and they were not able to. But he said, but it's Yuken. So, and by chance, a power pack supplied with us by us was lying right next to it.
Right.
You know, the next stand was that. I said, you look at the two. The nameplates are different.
Yes, and it won't be straight. It will be something will be missing.
Something will be different. Yes. Today's global scenario. What is your take on a resilient supply chain?
Well, I can only say that India has weathered this oil crisis extremely well. I would have expected the prices would have shot up. There will be mile-long queues for petrol, diesel, and gas, but they have managed it extremely well. I can only hope that sanity will come and there will be an end to the war, but you can't say what's going to happen. So there's a lot of uncertainty, and you have to live with it.
When Ukraine started, I thought it's just going to be over in a week.
No, I knew that because you look at Vietnam, how long it went on. Look at Afghanistan. They thought it will be just a walkover, and it dragged on for years and years.
Right.
So I don't think there is a quick end to this.
Okay, so on the talent front, do you find a gap between what's available and what's required?
Well, I can only tell you that in IMTMA, we set up a school so that graduate engineers who come out of university are trained so that they become suitable to work in industry.
Right.
Now, that speaks volumes of the quality of education. The people who come out, even from IITs, are very, very poor. Our education system teaches you.
Does not empower them to.
No, you learn by rote. You just learn to go through the exam. You don't know the subject. In fact, the dean of IIT Chennai, in a public meeting, said that the person who has topped in the IIT exam, you give him the same paper after 3 months, he will fail.
Right.
That is the education system. They don't teach you the subject. They don't teach you the principles. They just somehow
Teach
see
you
that
how to max your exam. And what about the talent gap at a senior level?
See, I personally believe that talent has to be nurtured from within. Particularly, our industry is not a very attractive industry, like IT or retail or even the auto industry, which has got a lot of glamour and people would like to come. Here, you have to put your hand in oil. So it is only, I find that the best way is to groom your own people, have a long-term view, and whomever you put in a responsible job, you have to support him for some time because he has not done the job before. You have to recognize that, support him, and then he'll grow into the job. So
Right.
you have to look for people with the right attitude. They need not have the right knowledge or that you require. And at least we have been quite lucky with our people. They have grown very well.
Who have grown with the organization?
Yes, they have the people with us for 30 years, 40 years who have grown.
Something that I really wanted to appreciate. I went to your gear pump plant.
Okay.
One of my visits to Bangalore.
Fine.
Very
Okay.
impressive.
Oh, thank you.
I was quite very impressed. Arvind showed me around, and it was quite
No,
impressive.
he's done a very, very nice job of it. In fact, I think it is one of the best plants even internationally.
We've started using
Okay. Okay.
gear pumps.
Okay, I'll tell Arvind.
No, we
You're in touch,
stay, we
okay.
stay in touch.
Right.
So, what are expansion plans for you? I mean, for Yuken?
Okay, we are putting a lot of effort on expansion. We are doubling our floor space
Okay.
so that we are able to increase production of pumps, valves. We have started production of proportional valve components, and including electronics. So gradually, proportional valve production will also be here. Which will,
I did use an EDG01 produced here.
Okay, EDG we have been making for a long time.
Okay.
Now I am talking about direction and flow control.
Okay.
So those we were importing from Japan till now. But what happened was some of the customers' applications are such that the spool configurations that we have do not match that exactly, and some little modification is required.
Okay.
So we said it is much better for us to do it here than to get it done in Japan, because one is we are closer to the customer.
Right.
Plus it is much easier for us to do it. So
And economics also.
economics also. So we started by making some of the components here, and gradually, and also the electronics, which you can buy out in Japan. So we'll be able to increase the indigenous content in our proportional valves. So of course, we are going to continue to import. Plus, we are expanding the floor space for power unit production because we expect a big increase.
This is in Malur?
In Malur.
In Malur.
In Malur. Put up our own heat treatment plant, and also phosphating plant. Phosphating we already had, we have expanded it to meet the increased production requirement, and we are going to be the manufacturing base for many of the products for Yuken globally.
Okay.
We already are for some products. Now the production from India, a larger portion of it will go overseas. To Yuken globally.
All right.
In the years to come. Which is also partly because we have our own foundry.
Which was right in the beginning, right?
Yes, foundry is a very, very old company. It's actually older than Yuken.
Right. Okay. Oh, really?
Yes, that's another story. But anyway, we are expanding the foundry as well.
So, what's your guidelines to younger entrepreneurs like me who are growing their companies on how to build teams?
Well, I think building teams starts with empathy and understanding people. Also, it means removing people who don't fit into a team.
Okay.
Because it's quite likely that the person may be individually brilliant, but he may not fit into a team. So either you have to find some other work for him, or you have to let him go, even though he's very, very, very capable.
But that's a tough one, no?
It's a tough one, but that's the job of the CEO.
Okay. How do you look at the importance of growth in a business?
Well, I think if you don't grow, you should die.
Okay. What kind of company culture would you guide people like me and other entrepreneurs to develop, and how to go about it?
Well, as I mentioned, I think there should be a lot of empathy, understanding, but at the same time, there has to be proper assessment. First of all, proper understanding of what is expected of each person, and then a proper assessment of how he has performed and feedback. Most of us at the year end, at the time of assessment, say, hey, you're not doing a good job. But the whole year he kept quiet, which is very unfair. But if he was given feedback periodically and then helped to improve his performance, he would have been much happier, he would have done a much better job for you, and your company would have done much better. Right. So, I think all of us, I would say we are equally guilty, do not pay enough attention to human resources development, people development.
Yeah, but beyond a certain, I have a strength of 60 people. Even at that level, I'm not able to do justice with what you're saying. And I'm wondering how you're saying it, but how would you manage to do in your organization?
No, so it has to be done in a very structured way. And that's the only way it can be done. But it is absolutely necessary.
What about your take on work-life balance?
I believe very strongly in it. And I think people who do only work cannot do their work properly itself for a long time. If you are more balanced, then you can do better work also. Plus, you will be more healthy mentally and physically. So, it is very important to have a good social life, to spend time with your family, with your friends, to have hobbies, spend time in that. Most important, first you have to look after your health. If you don't have your health, you can't do anything. And for mental health, I would say you should have other hobbies, other activities, friends, relatives, and attend functions so that you are in touch with people and have a balanced life. Although in the beginning of Yuken, I used to work from leave home at 6:30 and come back at 9:30. But that was necessary for 5 to 7, 8 years to set it up.
Right.
But not after that.
So what are the things that you do other than work, other than Yuken?
Other than Yuken, well, I play tennis. I used to until golf, till COVID, but I'm going to start again.
Okay.
I play golf. I swim, and I like music. I do a bit of reading. I keep in touch with friends, and I attend all functions to which I'm invited if it is possible. Right. So, and I devoted a lot of time for industry association like CII and IMTMA.
Right. Okay.
Now, I must say that what I got back from them is much more than what I gave. So it was a very rewarding experience.
Right. It's really been inspiring.
Thank you,
to
sir.
sit with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, नहीं बच्चा हूँ मैं आपका. I would have joined. I don't know when did you graduate from Pilani?
64 December.
I was born in 64.
Oh, okay.
So it's really been nice. So, Though we've been wanting to do this, I've been wanting to do this, you've been at least responding to each one of my messages, which is something I really appreciate. You respond always. And so it's been great having you over and
Thank
talking
you.
to you.
Thank you. It is an honor. And I hope that our discussion makes some sense to some people. And if they have any questions or any remarks, they are most welcome.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome.